is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player one.
Yeah!
Player two.
Yeah!
Player three. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories. It happened on Halloween. Intravenous. Geography. In the bookstore. Death. And musicals opening numbers. Player one, make a selection, please, as we continue. 1926. There's no escape for this magician who dies following a rupture of his appendix. Okay, player one. Yep. Player one. 1846. Heavy snowfall traps this carnivorous party in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Player one. That's correct. You again, player one. Answer? The Daily Double. You are in first place. You need to select your wager. The clue, 1956. The Brits and the French invade Egypt in response to the nationalization of this. You have maintained your lead. Way to go. Player one, 1961. This man's body is removed from Lenin's tomb. It's player one. Yep. You get to pick again. 1998. This Mideast nation announces it will no longer cooperate with UN weapons inspectors. Let's hear it, player one. Good. You get to pick again, player one. Venus's surface is hard to view from Earth because it's completely covered by these. It's player two.
Yeah!
Right. All right, let's get one of these on Venus lasts about 244 Earth ones. Yes, player one? Yeah, good. All right, let's get like Mercury. Venus has this many moons. Yes, player one? Right. Player one, choose. We're not sure if it was ancient or not, but the first U.S. flyby of Venus was by one of these space probes in 1962. Player two. Yep. Player two. Galileo's finding that Venus goes through these, like the moon, was the first direct evidence for Copernican ideas. Yes, player one? Good. Player one, you start us off. Cities in this large South American country include Mendoza, Rosario, and Mar del Plata. Okay, player three. You are correct. Okay, let's get back. The Mabinogion is an important collection of myths and tales from this UK country. Player one. Correct. Player 1. A castle built by crusaders dominates the port of Kyrenia on this island nation near Lebanon. Player 1. That is correct. Player 1. Oil up with some serious sunscreen as you trek to Alice Springs, the center of this nation's vast red center. Okay, Player 3. Yes. Okay, let's get back in. It's the only African country with port cities on both the Red Sea and the Mediterranean. Yes, Player 2. That's it. Player 2. Where do we start? Fever, 1793, depicts a teen's struggle during the 1793 epidemic of this colorful fever in Philadelphia. Let's hear it, Player 1. Correct. A lot of clues. Ahab's wife tells a whale of a tale about a character mentioned briefly in this classic novel. It's Player 2. That's it. Player 2. Hope Was Here is a book about a teen waitress at the Welcome Stairways Diner in this dairy state. Yes, Player 2. Right you are. Player 2. Take a bite out of the Vampire Armand, the 6th book in her Vampire Chronicles. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right. Player 1. A secret code called New Shoe is pivotal to the plot of Snowflower and the Secret Fan, set in this country. Let's hear it, Player 3. Hey, you're right. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Bubonic plague's more descriptive name. Okay, Player 2. That's it. Player 2. The 7 words that complete the speech Patrick Henry gave on March 23, 1775. Okay, Player 3. That's correct. Player 3. HBO comedy starring Jason Schwartzman and Zach Galifianakis. Yes, Player 3. That's correct. Select again. Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur's rap music record label. Player 2. You are correct. Player 2. It's the title of a famous 1793 painting by Jacques-Louis David. Okay, Player 1. Yes. All right, let's get back into this. Oh, what a beautiful mornin'. Let's hear it, Player 2. Correct. Player 2. All that jazz. Okay, Player 3. Good. A lot of clues. Good morning, Baltimore. Player 3. Right. Player 3. Willkommen. Player 2. Right. And here's the $1,000 clue. Move. You're stepping on my heart. Player 2. Good for you. Player 3 will select first in Double Jeopardy right after this. Clues are worth $400 to $2,000 in these categories. From page to screen. Women of Achievement. The Silent Screen. Science Time. Asian Bodies of Water. And Accentuate It. Player 3, you're in last place. Let's see if you can close that gap. 69 years apart, Lillian Gish and Demi Moore got an A for effort for starring in films based on this classic novel. It's Player 1. Good. Where do we begin? The film A&P is based on a story by this Rabbit Run author. Okay, Player 2. That's correct. A lot of clues. Oh, Rochester. William Hurt was in the 1996 version of this oft-filmed Bronte classic. Let's hear it, Player 2. That is correct. Player 2. Marilyn Monroe longed to play Grushenka in the 1958 film of this Dostoevsky saga, but Maria Schell got the part. Okay, Player 1. Good. Okay, let's get back. Fitzgerald didn't finish this novel, so screenwriter Harold Pinter had to come up with an ending for the 1976 film. Yes, Player 1? Yes. Please pick again, Player 1. Around 46 BC, Julius Caesar offended his countrymen by dedicating a statue to her. Yes, Player 3? Good. Player 3? In November 1988, she was elected Prime Minister of Pakistan, becoming the first woman to head a modern Islamic nation. Okay, Player 2. Right you are. All right, let's... In 1616, she and her husband John Rolfe traveled to England to help raise funds for the Virginia colonists. Player 2. Hey, you're right. We return to you. As an example to her Russian subjects, she and her son Paul had themselves inoculated against smallpox in 1768. It's Player 3. Good for you. All right, let's get to further the ambitions of her brother. Her father, Pope Alexander VI, arranged several marriages for her. Yes, Player 1? Good. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, Player 1. In Son of the Sheik, he played the title role as well as the character's father. Yes, Player 2. Right you are. Player 2. In 1920, at the age of 27, this actress, known as America's Sweetheart, played a girl of 12 in Pollyanna. Let's hear it, Player 1. That's it. Player 1. Gary Cooper had a small role as a cadet in this first Best Picture winner about two flyers in love with the same girl. Okay, Player 1. Right. You get to pick again, Player 1. In 1927's It, she played Betty Lou Spence, a department store salesgirl with designs on her boss. Player 2. Right. Okay, let's get back. Orson Welles said, "The greatest Civil War film ever made was The General, starring and directed by this comedian." Player 3. Right you are. Player 3, you start. All right, here with the clue is Sarah.
Used to date artifacts, this isotope has 6 protons and 8 neutrons in its nucleus.
It's Player 1. That's right, way to go. Player 1. Rubbing a balloon builds up electrons that then attract this particle, from the Greek for first. Player 2. Right. All right, let's get Darwin defined it as preservation of favorable variations and the rejection of injurious variations. It's Player 2. That is correct. Player 2. In food, iodine reacts with this carbohydrate, also known as amylum. If it's present, the iodine turns a bluish-black color. Okay, Player 1. Good. Player 1. Make below the atmosphere is this sphere, from the Greek for stone. Okay, Player 2. Right. Player 2, start us. Also called the Salt Sea, it's actually a large lake between Israel and Jordan. Player 1. Yes. All right, let's get the Sea of Japan splashes against this peninsula that's politically divided into north and south. Player 3. Right. Player 3. Excellent. The first of the 2 daily doubles. Player 3, you're in last place, but here's an opportunity to please enter your wager. Okay, here is the clue. Leading ports on this Gulf include Abadan in Iran and Al-Basra in Iraq. Good move, and it paid off. Select again. This holy river of India was named for the daughter of the mountain god Himalaya. Player 1. Yes. Where do we begin? One of the world's longest rivers, it forms the border between China's Sichuan province and Tibet. It's Player 2. Correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player 2. In this language of the British Isles, you'll see accent marks on the letter W. It's Player 1. That's it. All right, let's get Spanish words with the stress on the last syllable have accent marks only if they end in N, S, or one of these. Okay, player one. That's correct. Player one, choose again. Answer, the second daily double. You are currently in the lead. Here is your clue. You may ask why this language has an accent mark in its word for why. ¿Por qué? That puts you even further ahead. Player one, here's Sarah from our Clue Crew with the clue.
In poetry, it's a foot, or metrical unit consisting of an unstressed followed by a stressed syllable.
Okay, player one. That's correct. And the $2,000 clue? Some Shakespeare editions use accents to clarify meter, as in this man's, "The time is out of joint, O cursed spite." It's player two. Good. I'll see you all for Final Jeopardy in just a moment. Here's the Final Jeopardy category. The 50 states. What are you going to wager? And now the final clue. It was the only state physically and politically formed directly because of the Civil War. What did you put as your response? And that correct response will add... What did you say? How much do you add to your total with that correct response? And your response? With that correct response, you will gain... Congratulations, player one. You're the winner. Good game. Thank you so much for playing.